Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video I'm going to go through my team selection for game week 6. I'm going to talk about my transfer plans, how they affect the future game weeks, and who is going to be my captain. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, give it a like. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and in the meantime, let's get into it. On screen then I have my side as it currently stands for game week 6. I'm not going to dwell on game week 5, it was pretty horrendous for most people. If you scored over 40 points, 45, I've seen people with 60 odd points, you got a pretty healthy green arrow. I didn't, I got a red arrow, got 38 points and I have moved down to just over 1 million. I can console myself, but yeah, a lot of people have poor weeks. I do have 2 transfers, so I'm quite flexible with some money in the bank. And at this time of year, you know what, I can go down 500,000, I can go up 500,000 with a good week. So it's still early days, still lots to play for. This is my side, and this is how it sets up for game week 6. So I've got a few decisions to make. Onana and Turner doesn't feel on the face of it, very difficult one. Onana away at Sheffield United. He's clearly going to get a nod. My back 5 line up with Estepinian. Hopefully we'll be back. At the time of recording, Brighton are in action tonight, so we've got to check on them and how they get on and who, if Estepinian's back in the side or not. Saliba, Lewis, Chilwell and Udogie. Well known and documented that Chilwell, we've got to wait and see what happens with him. Lewis not been playing much. My midfield I'm pretty happy with. Saka and Odegaard do have Tottenham at home, so it's not the easiest of fixture. I'm pretty happy and confident to play both of those. And even though Sterling's blanked again in recent weeks, he's got a decent fixture at home to Villa. And Sterling's got some good underlying numbers. Foden looks like he'll play in that game due to other injuries. And Matoma's been pretty decent for me this season. Up front, I've got Mbamba, who's just holding a place for me, really, as an enabler. And Jackson misfiring, but again with a decent fixture and decent underlying stats, and Haaland, who is just being Haaland. So the way my side would line up for game week 6, before I have to consider those transfers, is Onana will get the nod in goal clearly. My back 3 that I would play, Estepinian, I'm expecting him the first choice to be back in that side against Bournemouth. I'm just going as that as a red. If he doesn't play, I have Udogie, given that Lewis unlikely to play either. Saliba can play and Chilwell. Now there is an issue at the back there because I can consider out of all of those, I've got Saliba and Udogie who probably are absolutely nailed. Estepinian you'd think is pretty nailed, but now with Lamptey playing last week, hopefully that's just a one-off and he'll be back in the side. Chilwell we just don't know about. We'll have to wait and hear from Pochettino about the press conferences. Hopefully he's back in the side as well, but there's enough doubt there that I could end up playing Udogie at the back. Which I just don't want to do against Arsenal. So I do have some issues there. In the midfield, I don't feel I do have any issues. I've got Saka, Odegaard. Tottenham's decent, quite a not an easy game you'd say for Arsenal, but I do expect Arsenal pretty much to score against anyone they play at. And I just have no issues playing in that double Arsenal. I've got no intentions on really moving Odegaard or Saka on. If I was to move one of them on, it would be Odegaard. But given that he looked like he was going to take the next penalty for Arsenal when they got awarded one against Man United and then it was rescinded, I feel like I just don't want to lose those points. It feels like there's points just waiting to be had for Odegaard in that penalty. So I just don't want to move him out until at least he takes the next penalty. Sterling is definitely in the firing line, but decent fixtures, and I'm keeping my faith with him. Matoma's going absolutely nowhere, and Foden looks like he's still nailed in that side. Not getting in the mega hauls that we'd love him to do, but great fixture. With Bernardo Silva out, Grealish not back fit, you'd think Foden's pretty nailed in that side right now. And up front, Haaland and Jackson. Yes, Jackson's misfiring. He's still getting good minutes. His underlying numbers are good, but that doesn't guarantee that he's going to get anything moving forward. Possibility, but I just feel there's other issues on my side that I could address. But there are 1 or 2 players that I could look to do something with. Haaland gets the captaincy nod, no question about that. It could be if you had Alvarez, you could potentially swim against the tide with that. That feels really dangerous, especially when we know Haaland's on penalties as well. With Forrest at home, and we know how good he is at home, I just don't think I'll be brave enough to go. I don't know if it'd be brave or stupid enough to not go Haaland. He's just the obvious choice. Choices then for making substitutions. Lewis is an issue for me. I've fallen into that trap after the first fixture when Pep picked him of into Pep's roulette, and he hasn't started a game since. So he could come out quite easily. And as I've looked in a watch list, Botman would come in. I could go Trippier. I could go Shah. I think I've eliminated Shah because I think Botman so far this season's shown that he has as much attacking potential as Shah. So the 0.5 I'm not sure is going to be worth it. You might differ and you want to go Shah. Definitely Trippier I think will score more points than Botman over the season. But right now, I think I just want that extra flexibility with the money. So I would prefer to go Botman. The other choice, the other player I just want to go, and it just feels like I'm jumping on the bandwagon a little bit, but you know what? It's a bandwagon for a reason, and that's Alvarez. But I have the money exactly to go from Mbambu to Alvarez, and he would play up front. Great underlying stats. The fact that Bernardo's now got injured just makes me more convinced that he's going to continue to play 90 minutes. He would come in, so Lewis Mbambu would come out, Botman Alvarez would come in. They clearly would get into the side, but those two transfers do give me a bit of a headache in terms of who's going to be benched. Now that decision may be taken out of my hands if the likes of Chilwell get benched. Then I'd need Saliba to come in. Now, I don't have a huge problem playing Saliba. The other players could get benched as well. Could we see Foden getting benched? Maybe. Doggy then would possibly come in, or Odegaard. And I'm not keen on putting Odegaard on the bench. I just don't like it with that penalty threat. It feels unlikely he'll get one, but it just feels like with that penalty threat, you just know it's going to happen. Tottenham are going to lose those points. Chilwell won't start. Come on, get 1 point. SGP now, I'm pretty sure will start. I know Botman will. And even if Chilwell doesn't come on at all, Saliba comes in because I need to play 3 defenders. So putting Odegaard on the bench is just not ideal. I just don't like that at all. Have to take Lewis out because I've got to get those 3 City players in. So that's the only way I can get to Alvarez. So I would have to make 2 moves to get to Alvarez. The other thing that could happen is I could get news that the likes of Lewis actually plays. Now if Lewis plays and Foden wasn't playing, then I could just make the Foden move, take him out, bring in, I think Mbambu's got a better fixture, he's got a better fixture, but I've already got Odegaard, so I don't need him for this week. And Diaby later on down the line has got good fixtures, so I could bring Diaby in just with a future reference to fixtures. Alvarez comes up front, Odegaard now comes in. I quite like that, and the fact that Diaby comes in for Villa, does that potentially save me having to wildcard later down the line and bring in Villa's fixtures when they swing? Maybe, not sure it will be enough, but it could be a step in that right direction. So that's if news that Lewis was starting. I feel unlikely, it feels unlikely that Foden won't start. So I think if Foden will start. Now, if Foden starts, I'm back to this situation where I've got Lewis starting. If he starts, if he doesn't, in comes Botman, in goes Alvarez. If Lewis starts, I think I just have to keep Lewis. It's just too good an opportunity at home to Forest to bench or to transfer him out. I've had him all this time. I don't want to lose that fixture. So I think if Lewis comes in, is starting, Foden starting, then I have to just ditch the Alvarez situation. I don't think there's enough benefit in going Alvarez, in which case I just make 1 substitution. I think Carlton Morris just comes in for the double game week next week, because I don't think there's a lot wrong with this side. If Chilwell is benched, or I get the impression that maybe Pochettino still hasn't given us assurances, Saliba just comes in instead. If Lewis plays then, it feels if you follow me so far you're doing well. If Lewis plays and Foden plays, I think I just have to abandon that double Botman and Alvarez move and keep Lewis in. If Lewis isn't going to start, then I think out he comes, Botman, Alvarez come in, but I do end up benching Odegaard and I don't really like that, but that's how it stands. Let me know whether you think it's a good idea to bring those 2 players in, get Alvarez and bench Odegaard. But if without benching Odegaard, if just leaving Lewis in the side, if I'm not sure he's going to start, then I'm having to play possibly Saliba and Udogie. I just don't really want to play both of them. I feel like both sides are going to score in that fixture, and straight away I'm just down on a clean sheet. That's it for this one. Then let me know in the comments below who you intend to bring in for game week 6. Are you using 1 or 2 transfers? Are you taking a hit, or are you going to roll it? Also, who's your captain armband on? Is there anyone else you could possibly consider other than Haaland? In the meantime, we'll come back at you before the game week 7 deadline with team selection videos, watch lists, all that good stuff. So make sure you stick around for that. In the meantime, good luck for game week 6, and I'll see you on the other side.